But then it leads to this question, well, what is my job title as a business owner? And it depends on your kind of business. So if you have an LLC and you are one of the owners or the only owner, then your job title is member. So the member is the person or the people who own the business. If we go down to the bottom of the list, we see that in a corporation, it is the shareholders who own a corporation. So a member and a shareholder are very similar. If you were to buy stock in Ford Motor Company, then you would be a shareholder of Ford. You would be one of the owners of Ford. You would own a tiny sliver of the corporation. So does that mean that you could walk into the Ford headquarters and tell them, hey guys, we need new carpet here. This is shabby looking? Well, no, because the shareholders of the corporation don't have the authority to run the company. Now, depending on how your LLC is set up, if we set you up an LLC, you might or might not have that authority. The job title for the person who is delegated day-to-day management of the business for an LLC is called the manager. And that is very confusing. And I'm sorry. It's not my fault, though. If I could go back in time and tell them to fix that, I would. But the manager is the person running the day-to-day business of an LLC. So if you are the owner of the business and you're the one who runs the business, you might have two job titles. You might be the member and the manager. Or maybe your business is so great and it's just doing so well that you decide to go retire on the beach and appoint your number one employee to run the day-to-day business. That would mean that you are the member of the LLC or the shareholder of the corporation, and the person running the business would be the manager. And that's fine. So when we set up your business, if we set up the LLC, then we put limits on what the manager can do. So a common example of that is that the manager can make decisions that cost up to $10,000 or that commit the business to up to 1 year, but no longer. So if the manager wants to sign up for a new cell phone plan and it's a 2-year commitment, the manager has to get the approval of the owners. Again, if you are the manager and the owner, that's fine. Then you get to make that decision. But if you have multiple owners or shareholders or whatever, then you might have to have a meeting of the members or the owners in order to do that. So the member is the owner of an LLC, the shareholder is the owner of a corporation, and you might or might not have the authority to make the day-to-day decisions for the business. It is common for LLCs for the manager to be the one running the day-to-day operations. If your organization has officers, then the person who has the responsibility of making day-to-day decisions is usually called the president. And this can be true for corporations or LLCs. And if you really want to be called president and we didn't set your business up to have officers, then you can just let us know and we will authorize your business to have officers. For corporations, that is the default. You always have officers. For LLCs, we typically do not do that unless what we want to have is realms of authority. So for example, an officer might have authority to make all the business decisions because they're the president, or maybe they have the authority to make financial decisions because they're the chief financial officer or the treasurer, or maybe they can make all marketing decisions because they're the head of marketing, the president of marketing, the executive, the chief marketing officer. So that would be fine. That's good when you have a complex organizational structure to use officers so that you can say these people have authority in this area but not other areas. Since most LLCs do not need that, then we typically just say your job title is either member or manager, depending on what you're doing. I hope that's clear. If not, when you come in to meet with us next, please talk through it with us and we'll explain exactly what that means for your business.